Right now, Metro services coming to Verona, when and where the new route will run. Also, the finale of Black Restaurant Week. We take you to the taste, sights, and the sounds. And the share ride driver is held at gunpoint, all that we know so far. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. A business near Wisconsin state capitol was struck by gunfire early Sunday morning. Officers were dispatched to the 100 block of King Street just after 1 a.m., where a window at an occupied business had been struck. Madison police said none of the occupants inside at the time were struck, and there were no reported injuries. Police say some witnesses reported the shot came from outside the business, and the vehicle was reportedly seen leaving at a high rate of speed. No arrests at this time have been made, and an investigation is ongoing. Madison police are investigating after a rideshare driver reported being threatened at gunpoint early Sunday. Officers were dispatched to the 900 block of Delaplane Court, where the driver picked up two men and drove them to that area. Police say one of the men displayed a gun and demanded the driver's money and cell phone. As the driver began to hand over the items, the men then ran away. The driver was not injured and nothing was taken. Officers searched the area but did not locate the suspects. The driver described the suspects as black men, approximately 19 and 20 years old. Let's go ahead and get a look at your first one forecast with the meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what should we expect as we head into the work week?
Well, scattered showers and thunderstorms are beginning to move in now as expected. We were anticipating more of this activity to pick up on radar 3000 as we got closer to the midnight hour. So we're kicking off the 10 o'clock hour with a little bit of rain activity in parts of Grant County at the moment. But I want to replay this over the last 3 hours, and then we're going to go up into parts of Vernon County as well as Juneau County. That's an area where some of those showers have been a little less active in terms of moving. So they have been dumping a little bit of rain, to say the least, over the last 3 hours, especially in parts of Monroe County as well as near Hillsborough in the panhandle of Vernon County. And if we quickly sample radar estimates, we're looking at over the last 3 hours, 3 to 4 inches of rain. So again, this is raining at about an inch an hour, give or take. While minor flooding, we don't have any flood watches out right now, but minor flooding could be an issue with some of these slower moving showers and thunderstorms. We'll obviously keep an eye on that, and I encourage you to, if you haven't already, downloaded our First Warned Weather app, and you can get any and all flood related or severe weather alerts sent directly to where you live. Future Track is going to continue to bring in the scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head throughout the rest of the overnight hours into and throughout Monday. Our latest low pressure system is continuing to get pulled out of the Dakotas into Minnesota, and that's going to be impacting us as we go throughout Monday. So we're looking at another night in the 60s to low 70s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not anticipating anything severe this evening, but we are going to keep an eye out for an isolated heavy rain threat across parts of central and southern Wisconsin. In the full forecast, we're drying out a little bit earlier than expected when the dry conditions move on in, and how long they last. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you then. And as always, you can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warned Weather app. It is hourly planners, road conditions, and even radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Just into the newsroom, one person is dead in a house fire in the town of Fulton. Lakeside Fire Rescue and Rock County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a house fire just after 10 p.m. last night. First responders arrived on the scene and entered the home where they found a 74-year-old woman on the floor. The victim was transported outside where they were able to pronounce her dead. They were the only resident at the home. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Today is the last day to participate in Madison's Black Restaurant Week. They are closing out with a food taste jamboree on Madison's South Side. You may remember it was rescheduled due to storms last week to today. Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
Carmel Jackson is the owner of Melly Mel's Soul Food.
So I did turkey, I did dressing. We have a holiday bowl. So you have dressing on top of turkey, and then you have some gravy or something on it with a side of candied yams and green beans.
Since Melly Mel's opened in 2010, they've worked with Madison's Black Chamber of Commerce at events like this, the $5 Taste Jamboree.
Them putting it out and putting signs all over is just great, just one more, one more support that I get.
The chamber originally wanted to host this event on August 10th, but organizers canceled the event because of severe weather.
Oh my goodness. I was devastated. For one, I was doing barbecue for that day, and I was already out in the rain. So my hope was that it would stop.
You know, we can do rain or shine. We don't mind that. We're not afraid of rain, but the lightning was really, that's the problematic piece.
Thankfully, on Sunday, it did not rain.
Historically, we've done the Jamboree the last day of Black Restaurant Week. So it didn't work out the first day of Black Restaurant Week, but, you know, as historically been presented on the last day and of the closing of Black Restaurant Week, here's the Jamboree along with our Farm to Table event. And
Jackson is grateful for the opportunity because it helps her small Black-owned business grow, and it also allows her to pass the baton and help other small businesses.
I want to support them. I want to give them some pointers if they want to, you know. We just need to thrive and grow. It's enough. Everybody's hungry.
Tanasia, thank you. Melly Mel's will open their own restaurant at the anticipated Madison Public Market in 2026. Even though Black Restaurant Week ends today, you can still find a list of restaurants to support through the Black Chamber of Commerce. Starting today, Metro Transit will be debuting a full-service line in Verona. Route D2 will provide all-day service. It'll run every 30 minutes on weekdays and every 60 on weekends. Paratransit services will also be available. The new route will connect riders to the Ice Age National Scenic Trail, Verona Park Ride, and Verona Area High School. You can pay virtually or by credit card or pick up a pass at Verona City Hall. Now, if Doty Street in downtown Madison is on your morning commute, you might want to leave the house a little early on Monday. East Doty Street will be reduced to a single lane, so take a look. The lanes are set to close at 7 a.m. for road paving repairs. Vehicles should detour via King Street to East Wilson Street. If you ride Metro through that area, buses will stop at West Doty prior to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Access to the Nova apartment driveway will be maintained. Work is expected to end by 3:30 p.m., but pavement markings may be added Tuesday if needed. WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin have completed a major upgrade to their over-the-air broadcasting system with the installation of 2 new transmitters. The improvements are designed to provide antenna viewers with a better signal and a clearer picture across the viewing area. Because of the change, if you're an antenna user, you'll need to rescan your TV on Wednesday. To get a stronger, clearer picture, the process is fast and free. Just open the TV's menu and select Settings, then Channel Scan, or for some, it may be listed under Auto Tune. Now, in just a few minutes, the TV's channel list will be updated to match the new signal. This upgrade enhances our over-the-air reception for local viewers. Remember, you'll need to do this next Wednesday or this upcoming Wednesday. For those step-by-step rescanning instructions, visit our website at channel3000.com/rescan. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, Blaze returns with a complete look of your first corn forecast. But first, tens of thousands take to the streets in Israel as a call for the end of the war grows.
This weekend, President Trump breaks with allies to back Vladimir Putin's plan to end the war.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Today, tens of thousands of Israelis vented their frustration over the war in Gaza. They demanded a deal to secure the release of those hostages still held by Hamas. It was one of the biggest demonstrations since the war started. CBS's Deborah Pata is in London, tracking the latest developments of the war.
This is what Netanyahu wants to ignore. Thousands upon thousands of protesters demanding he ends the war and aborts his plan to push deeper into Gaza. They have been beating the same drum for nearly 2 years. This time, it was louder than ever.
This is our last chance to stop the insanity, stop the war, stop the government from sacrificing our hostages for its own political gain.
The protests were nationwide with the partial shutdown of many businesses. It's believed there are at least 20 living hostages still in Gaza. The desperation over this war without end is echoed in Gaza, where the World Food Programme says the rate of malnutrition is rising. Tens of thousands of children under the age of 5 suffer from acute malnutrition. Several thousand more are in a critical state. The Israeli government has allowed more aid to enter Gaza by land and air, but it is just not enough. The airdrops have been criticized as costly, ineffective, and dangerous. Just over a week ago, those warnings became reality. 15-year-old Karam Al-Khalut was crushed to death by a pallet of aid. "We don't want airdrops," this distraught family member shouted. "They kill our children. We don't want them."
Deborah Pattis, CBS News.
More than 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants will continue their strike despite back-to-work orders from the Canadian government. Thousands of attendants walked off the job Saturday after months of failed negotiations over a new contract. The stoppage led to mass cancellations and travel chaos, including more than 100,000 passengers left stranded over the weekend. The government ordered flight attendants back to work by Sunday afternoon. The airline even announced that it would be restarting flights. However, union leaders Sunday said the strike is still on. A renewed push to end the war in Ukraine is coming with an extraordinary show of diplomatic support. European leaders, along with the head of NATO, would join President Volodymyr Zelensky at Monday's Oval Office meeting with President Trump. Ukraine has repeatedly said it will never accept Russia's occupation of its land. But President Trump now says that must happen if the war is to end. CBS's Willie James Inman has more from the White House.
President Zelensky and European leaders scrambled this weekend to present a united front against Russia after President Trump reversed course after the Alaska summit, aligning with Vladimir Putin's plan to end the war in Ukraine. On Monday, President Zelensky will sit down with President Trump in the Oval Office. In a show of unity, several European leaders will join them.
It's very important that you are with us and that we speak to America and we speak together.
This weekend, the president backing away from a ceasefire demand, favoring a peace agreement instead. Diplomatic sources in Europe say the shift is worrying them that Zelensky might be pressured into an agreement. On Face the Nation, Secretary of State Marco Rubio insisted both nations will have to give something up.
What it's going to take to stop the fighting, if we're being honest and serious here, is both sides are going to have to give, and both sides should expect to get something from this.
Monday's meeting will be Zelensky's first time to the White House since this disaster in the Oval Office in February.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right.
Among Putin's new demands, that Ukraine surrender territory that Russia does not even control, including in Donetsk, in the industrial heartland.
The fundamental issue, which is some sort of land swap, which is obviously ultimately in the control of the Ukrainians, that could not have been discussed at this meeting. We intend to discuss it on Monday.
Also on the table for tomorrow, potential security guarantees for Ukraine, but details remain limited, including what role the U.S. will play. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
We'll have coverage of that tomorrow, but for now, let's go ahead and get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, in just a few hours, it'll be the start of the work week. What should we expect?
Scattered showers and thunderstorms. I quickly want to show this beautiful photo from Mineral Point. Thank you, Crystal, for sending this in. We put this on social media as well. Mammatus clouds after those showers and thunderstorms moved through yesterday, caused by sinking air, coupled with that setting sun, make for a beautiful photo. You can send us any and all weather photos by scanning this QR code or heading on over to our website. And not only do we see the photos, but others can see what you're also seeing out there as well, which is always fun to share weather photos from across central and southern Wisconsin. Scattered showers and thunderstorms not only tonight, but into Monday as well. It does look like we may start to dry out sooner than what we thought even yesterday. So maybe we start to dry out by Tuesday of this work week, not Wednesday. So what we're watching is yet another stationary front setup. It's going to be pulling in yet another low pressure system out of the Dakotas overnight into Monday. So we're watching showers and general thunderstorms move their way across parts of Minnesota right now, crossing I-35, beginning to move into southeastern parts of the state. We find severe thunderstorms pushing into Davenport, where there's more energy in the atmosphere. We just don't have that energy here in parts of Wisconsin, which is some good news. We're likely not going to be dealing with any severe weather tonight, but we're once again going to be dealing with rain on top of an already soaked southern Wisconsin. Stretching from Fenimore all the way south into northern Illinois. A little bit of some light to moderate rain activity, but further to the north towards Reedsburg, Elroy, that's where we're seeing a little bit heavier shower activity pushing into Reedsburg as well as the Dells, eventually Loganville, and then further into Baraboo. We find that moderate threat for heavy rain mainly to the west this evening, and then Monday into Tuesday, it pushes more into central parts of our coverage area as that low pressure system is expected to move in starting in the morning hours on Monday, bringing again that chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll once again see this low pressure system center move through northern parts of the state. So that means we're going to get the warm front rain, and then we're also going to get that cold front line of showers and thunderstorms as we head into the mid to late afternoon hours. Again, not anticipating widespread severe weather Monday, but anytime we get a cold front especially, we may squeeze out an isolated severe thunderstorm with strong winds, hail, and of course heavy rain as the main threat. In terms of additional rainfall from here till about Tuesday, we're looking at widespread, maybe a quarter to an inch of rain. If you're hit by multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms between now as well as by Tuesday morning, you could be getting closer to that inch and a half, maybe isolated spots of 3 inches. Quickly, Hurricane Erin has re-strengthened back to a Category 4. You can see her eye there as she gets closer to the Bahamas. She might have just recycled her eye, which is typical what hurricanes do. Her path continues to keep her off the East Coast. That cold front that I put there, that's where it's currently placed. That'll hopefully help kick her out. But again, this is just a forecast. So if you've got friends or family along the East Coast, especially the Carolinas, keep them informed and tell them to always pay attention to their local meteorologist because, again, that cone of uncertainty, she could go anywhere within that. There was a look at the 10-day forecast. Pretty quiet once we get to Tuesday, which is some great news. And take a look at those temperatures, mid to upper 70s to low 80s with a few low 70s by next Sunday into that following Monday.
Some of those overnights, we may have to break out a jacket.
It's going to be
the
nice. It's going to
forward to that.
Just a little taste of fall.
Yeah,
it'll be nice.
Looking forward to it. Sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. And coming up in sports, fall season is upon us. Sports Director Andrew Banchra checks in with UW women's volleyball for their exhibition match against Notre Dame. Last night, the Brewers set a franchise record for most consecutive wins with 14, and they look to extend that record against the Reds this afternoon. To the top of the ninth, crew down 1, and William Contreras answers the bell and would hit a 2-run homer of his own to take a 2-1 lead. And then later in the frame, the Reds were looking to respond back to the Brewers. They have one on, and Jose Trevino would send a shot down right to bring a runner in. And this would send us to extras. Reds at the plate now, and they would be able to get a shot down the left for a walk-off single. The Brewers fall for the first time in 15 games. Brewers lose 3-2, your final. Fall sports season is upon us. And News 3 Now Sports Director Andrew Banchra caught up with both UW women's volleyball team and the football team ahead of their season openers.
It is very, very close to being that time of year. Wisconsin football is just around the corner, and Wisconsin volleyball is too. They officially started their season today, hosting Notre Dame in an exhibition match. A whole lot of new faces for the Badgers this year, but Kelly Sheffield picked up some good ones out of the portal, like Mimi Collier. She slams it down on the Irish, helping the Badgers take an early lead in the first set. But she's not the only newcomer that will be a problem. Check out Grace Egan. She goes up and gets one, throws it down, and puts the Irish on their heels. But of course, the Badgers still have those familiar faces, such as Carter Booth. Check out this sequence. Like clockwork, puts it up for her, and she puts it down. The Badgers put away the Fighting Irish and take care of business in the exhibition match. And Wisconsin volleyball is closer than you may even realize. Their season opener is a day after football's opener on August 29th. As for the football team, heading into a make-or-break year 3, Luke Fickell made a monumental change, hiring Jeff Grimes as the team's new offensive coordinator, restoring the program's run-first identity. But for Grimes, even the run game starts with great QB play, something he says Billy Edwards has in spades.
His preparation and his willingness to study and be ready for every single day is phenomenal, maybe the best I've been around. And really, he allows us to be as multiple as we are. You know, y'all watch us practice and you see the multiple formations and shifts and motions, and you see the quarterback directing things at the line of scrimmage. That takes a lot of work, a lot, and we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing in terms of pure volume schematically if we didn't have a guy like him.
Wisconsin football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th, under the lights at 8 p.m. But you won't have to wait that whole day to get ready for Bucky. Right here on News 3 Now, we will be running a Badger special with Eric Franke and myself, getting you ready for the big start to the season. For now at Camp Randall Stadium, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
All right, sounds good, Andrew. Thank you. A final check of your first warn forecast is coming up. I want to tell a quick story. I want to flash back to fall of 2023. I was pretty new here at News 3, and there was this intern that sat across from me every single day for the days that I worked. And he would always be like kind of dozing off. And I remember asking him like, hey, bro, why are you so tired? And he's like, hey, I'm actually training for a marathon.
Okay.
And getting to know this intern, I would find that his name was Ryan. And Ryan was training for this, not a marathon, but an Ironman during this time while interning and also trying to finish out his bachelor's degree at UW-Madison. Ryan would go on to accomplish both. He would leave for a little bit, but then he'd come back to Channel 3 full-time as a producer. And he and I, along with many others in our newsroom, ended up becoming really good friends. We can come back on cam. A lot of times here, you know, we're the ones that get a lot of the attention, but there's so many people behind the scenes that, you know, don't always get the highlights that they should.
Right.
Today is Ryan's last day, so along with Blaze, myself, and all of News 3, we just want to thank you, Ryan, for all your hard work. We're really going to miss you.
Yes.
From seeing you as an intern to seeing you grow as a producer here, it's been an absolute blast, and we can't wait to see what you do. As always, you know, thank you for all the work that you've done and all of you that help us get this show on air. So, Ryan, we love you and can't wait to see what you do.
And I think that's a perfect way to end the show.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. We'll see you back here tomorrow.